The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome, we are back for another episode of the Gun Shop Show, and I gotta tell you, I'm excited to be here. We're still settling in our new studio here inside of Liberty Tree Guns in Carthage, Missouri, but I'm even just one show into the new location, and I already feel a little more at home. I don't know about you guys.
I do too, man.
I really don't.
No.
What's you're
wrong,
still
man?
in the basement.
It's a good old basement background. Yep.
Believe it or not, Logan's actually in his basement right now.
Here's the thing.
Lay it on him, man. So early?
I don't usually say here's the thing.
Yeah.
We don't claim to be the best at making show sets.
No.
We're the best at selling guns.
It's true.
Consignment guns.
Yep.
We're one of the best gun sellers in the country, if you look at the numbers. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm just saying if you
Just
look at
the
the
numbies.
numbers.
Yeah,
Just the
strictly on the numbies. Numby one.
We claim to be your friends in the gun business.
We don't just claim it. We are.
Yes.
Well, I know.
Oh.
I'm saying we claim it and it's true. But what I'm telling you what we don't claim, because we don't want to claim things that aren't true.
Right. Yeah. We need a T-shirt with a list of claims and don't claims with this list on each side.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. We don't claim to be the best at setting up show sets, but we will do better.
Yes.
I will claim to do better in the near future.
I think we could claim that we get better at stuff the more we do it.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Making shows, still in the air.
Yeah. Okay. And if you're listening on the radio, you're wondering what these voices are. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, owner of Liberty Tree Guns. And then I'm also joined by our producer, the tech guy, the guy that makes all of the things happen for the show. That's Trevor Smith.
Hi, everybody.
His lighting, not the best.
Yeah, my face either, but the it's the problem.
You are glowing.
We're going to go ahead and blast you out a little more. And then also joined by our resident gun bunny, Logan Jones. It was almost like that background was a little different.
Just a tad.
You're supposed to come back straight to Logan.
Oh, yeah. So I think it's probably just because whenever you introduce him, he's whisked away.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, it's like a
Transported.
like a Calgon commercial
To
or
a
maybe
simpler time.
a shampoo commercial. That's how Logan is perpetually.
So this is the Gun Shop Show, and we have some great gun stuff coming up. We have a
Yep.
guest that is going to be really interesting to talk to. Yehuda Remer, and his handle, his name, you know what he goes by?
What's that?
The Pew Pew Jew. So that's a real thing. He's going to be joining us coming up in the next segment. So that's going to be awesome. Before we get into that, we have a few headlines we need to cover. You know, we've been staying on top of our friends over at the, I'm looking for my hat.
Oh yeah.
I
don't know.
Anyway,
Did we lose it in the move?
the ATF.
Oh, what are they up to now? Are they still being racist?
Word is maybe not. We got some news on the ATF brace
Sea
thing.
change at the ATF.
Yeah.
Oh,
They just
something's going
flip-flop.
down.
They flip-flopping all over
They're
the
like
place.
a bunch of politicians over
Some
there.
theories behind that. We'll check the voicemail
Yep.
coming up. We will give away a $50 gift card to Liberty Tree Guns, which is going to be something you want.
Yeah, you're gonna want
Oh,
that.
big time.
You can spend that on ammo, 9mm, 5.56, 7.62 by 39.
All the hits.
You can spend that on the website. You can use it to put a gun on layaway with our free layaway program, which is a no fees, no interest way to buy a gun and pay for it your way. So if you know you're getting paid in a week or 2 weeks, you have up to 90 days to pay for the gun in full, and that's helping people snag some stuff that they've been wanting for a long time but haven't been able to do. In order to win that gift card, you need to do what?
You need to share this feed and tag 5 of your bestest friends.
It's that simple.
So tag people that you think might enjoy hearing this information, hearing us check the voicemail, which is always fun, and people that are into guns.
And like having a good time.
If we have time today, we'll do consignments of the week and break that down too. Our consignment program goes along with our mission for this year, which is to get 2,021 guns, used guns, in the building at the same time.
Well, what if you have a gun to sell and you want to sell it and you don't want all the hassle? What's something that someone could do, Eli?
They could put it on consignment with us. So what you do, what you get when you do that is you avoid all of the hassle that comes along with selling it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you from experience, it's kind of a pain in the rear. I tried to sell one, and gun brokers like, we need proof of payment, rent payment, driver's license copy. We need a blood sample. Like maybe not all that stuff, but it was too much to just try to sell my gun on Gun Broker.
Yeah, and so you're gonna have to take photos. You're gonna have to deal with communications with customers, know who you're dealing with. So for us, we bring it in, we photograph it, we write a great description, and then we put it in front of a huge audience. So for us right now, stuff is selling almost instantaneously, right off the show floor or Gun Broker. So
should we tell people about our recent achievements in the gun broker world?
We bump back into a place that we've been many times, but we're back in that top 100.
We're back in it.
Top 100 sellers on Gun Broker. So that's no small feat.
Not at all. It's a huge achievement. Congrats, guys, on the hard work.
So I think it's time to check the voicemail. I'm going to need you to go hop over there, grab me ZZ Top Gun.
Yeah, we're going to need that.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
And not without our ear-killing ringer. I have a feeling that's going to probably be pretty juicy. I'm gonna kick those DBs down on that.
One of our favorite things to do on the show is talk with our listeners and our viewers, and the best way to do that is to give us a call at 208
918
1776.
See, you can tell it's been a while since we've done that. We used to.
Yeah,
we used to click a lot more when we did that.
Click.
Yeah,
A lot more.
but they probably understood us much better.
Yeah, that's true.
Now.
The number's 208-918-1776.
You just have a question or you just want to talk to us? Leave it the voicemail.
Go ahead and roll the pre-prepared.
It's been a while,
Okay.
bro. We're gonna have to go live on this.
Yeah, let's do it. Make sure the camera stays on.
Yeah,
us.
the camera will stay on us the entire time. There will be no mistake whatsoever. Are you ready to bring this in? This is the first one in the new year, bro.
Yeah, this is crazy.
A lot going on in the new year.
Doing it in the new studio.
Sweet.
Oh,
and
I
I'm in the
almost-
band this time, so that's cool.
Yeah, about that.
We're gonna have to have a
What's
sidebar on
We
that.
talked about this. It's part of the contract. I signed it and everything.
It's just not a place for you, man. This is just the drums and guitars. This is
Yeah.
a White Stripes sort
it
of
the-
deal.
Exactly.
Is it my background? Is it the camel background?
I want to be honest with
I'll never
you
say. I'll never
about
say,
the
but it is.
background.
Yep.
Has nothing to do with that. It's your personality.
Dark. Ouch. Are you ready to bring this thing in, man?
Yeah, let's do
I got ZZ drumsticks here. All right, here we go. A 1, a 2, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4. Are you ready to check the voicemail? Ooh, man, geez, starting fires in the new digs.
Smoking.
Good night. You can't be
Wow.
doing all that, man. Whew.
You know, we had to move to this set because you were in the last set doing this.
No, burn it
You're
down.
gonna- you're
Burn it
gonna-
to the ground.
Yeah, there's
this
a lot of
sit down,
smoke
too.
damage over there, man.
I can't help it. When it's time to shred, I shred.
Yeah, and you bring that C chord.
How is that
in.
affecting your lungs?
Just fine.
Probably not at all.
It's turning me into Clint Eastwood.
All right, bro, you ready to dial it in?
Let's check the voicemail.
All right, here we go. Oh, I thought we had some here.
That was funny. That was funny. Go ahead. Let's play it.
Yeah, go ahead and
Play
roll
the next
it.
one. Okay,
Yeah,
there
roll
we
it.
go. Okay. Oh, well,
You get it was. It's funny.
You know,
Play
it
the
felt
voicemail.
awfully light.
You're telling me we don't have any voicemails?
No one called us.
well, hang on. There's another one here. Let me
Okay.
play it.
Okay.
Oh no. Okay. Well, hang on. We got one more. Let me try playing it. Nothing, guys.
Okay, was it funny the first
No
time?
one-
No one called 208-918-1776.
My feelings are hurt.
It's a gosh darn shame. If you would like us to actually have voicemails to check, you have to call and leave one.
That hurts here in my heart.
Yeah.
And Logan, he just got one of those too.
I want to remind you that the show is brought to you by U.S. Law Shield. Been great partners to deal with, and the obvious benefits of having complete legal protection for your self-protection is apparent. You know, it's less than Netflix and gives you full access to an attorney who will defend you, no caps, no minimums, if you're involved in a self-defense situation. So if you carry a gun, the solution is obvious. But the thing that exceeded my expectations is the amount of educational work that they do. If you'll go to uslawshield.com, click the education tab, there's a ton of workshops, seminars, they have books, they have a quick guide which you'll get when you become a member of where you can and can't carry your gun. So there's a lot of resources that they provide to the general public, but you get free access to a wealth of education so that you know whether or not you're following the law when you travel into certain areas and how to comply with the use of force. It's very important that you have protection, legal defense for your self-defense. You can get it by going to uslawshield.com. Make sure you click join now and use the promo code LibertyTree, all one word, for 14 months for the price of 12. We'll be right back on the Gun Shop Show. Hey, podcast listeners and live stream viewers. I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership, and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory, and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Our member is involved in a brief road rage incident. One driver cuts off another in traffic, and harsh words and gestures soon follow. After the pleasantries are exchanged, our driver goes on his way, assuming the incident is over. However, still agitated, the other driver calls 911 and reports our member as aggressive, possibly having seen a weapon in his hand. In reality, what he saw was our member flipping him the bird. In an incident that can only be described as an overreaction by officers, our member is pulled over. When officers learn that he carries a legal concealed firearm, they arrest him despite a lack of evidence. This incident is just one of numerous member experiences. Be aware when traveling with a firearm. Any aggressive actions made by you, right or wrong, can land you in jail. Don't let it happen to you.
Hey, Adam and Lauren. Thanks for jumping on here so we can make an ad for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're huge Second Amendment advocates and a big supporters of Liberty Tree and the Gun Shop Show.
All right, so for the ad, we're going to want to go over what you offer.
We do all the standard auto, home insurance, life insurance.
We also do a lot of rental property, whether that be commercial rental or residential, duplexes, apartment complexes, single-family dwellings. And we have specialty policies for all your firearms.
You have commercial coverage on my rental properties, so we can put that in the ad too. And I was thinking that we'll talk about how you're big supporters of the store and how you come in the store pretty much every day on your lunch break and buy guns.
Maybe don't mention the everyday thing, because my wife does watch the show, but we've been known to come in occasionally.
Every once in a while.
All right, guys, I think that we have everything we need to make an ad, so once I get it done, I'll give you guys a holler to check it out. Trevor, don't put it in the ad, but those guys are in here literally every day on their lunch break.
This is Russell. I gotta go. It's time for the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. Want to remind you really quickly, if you want to win the $50 gift card to Liberty Tree Guns, please share the feed, tag 5 of your friends, and also don't forget to go grab that free merch. You got bumper stickers, hats. Just go to libertytreeguns.com, click the merch tab, and you can get those for absolutely free. I know it sounds like a catch, but it absolutely is not. You know, here on the show, we don't spend a lot of time on politics because we figure you have enough places to get that.
We're trying to take your mind off stuff.
But there is one exception, and that is the issue of the Second Amendment. So I'm excited to bring a whole new perspective, something we haven't ever had on the show with our next guest, who is an award-winning author and public speaker, and has a name that when I first heard it almost sounded a little provocative, so we'll get into.
But it really rolls off the tongue.
Yes, it does. So our guest is Yehuda Remer, a.k.a. the Pew Pew Jew. Welcome to the show, Yehuda.
Hey, thanks for having me. Good to be here.
Give people a quick synopsis of what makes you the Pew Pew Jew.
Oh, God. About 4 years ago, I started, well, much longer than that, but about 4 years ago, my first book came out, a book called Safety On, and it's a book that touches on all aspects of gun safety, mainly for children, not for parents, how to talk to children, but specifically written for children. And how I got the name the Pew Pew Jew is when I was researching another book that I wrote. I was talking to a journalist who's a kind of a Second Amendment, I don't know what you want to call it, like he knows everything about the history of the Second Amendment. And he just turns to me, he's like, hey man, you're like the Pew Pew Jew. And, you know, the Jewish brain in me started working. I'm like, ooh, logo, brand, merch.
Right.
And
Something.
Oh yeah.
I got to be honest with you. It may come from my background here in the Midwest. We don't have a large Jewish community in our demographic. And so when I learned of you and I learned that that was your name and we'd have you on the guest and maybe even the show title as the Pew Pew Jew, when I was about to say it, I was almost like, is this even appropriate for me to say?
Right.
Like, I don't know if this is out of line. So it does a great job of not only getting straight to a description built into the name, but also it makes you think a little bit.
Yeah, I can't even tell you how many of my friends, throughout Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, they'll plug my name. They'll tag me in a post, something gun-related, history, Nazis, whatever, and someone will be like, "Oh, at the Pew Pew Jew," and then you should just see the messages afterwards, like, "Oh my God, you're such an anti-Semite. How can you do it?" And my friends are like, "No, like literally." It's his brand. It's the complete opposite of what you think, and I always get a kick out of it.
Yeah, I know of one other person who is Jewish and outwardly talks about the fact that they're Jewish in the industry, but they work in B2B, like a software company. So off the air, I'll find out if you know this other guy. But you're the only activist, the only one really that I know of actively promoting the Second Amendment from the perspective of an Orthodox Jew. So tell me what, let me ask this. Within the Jewish community, is there consensus on the Second Amendment, or is it split like most others?
So you have to kind of break down Judaism right now into three categories, right? You get the Orthodox Jews, the conservative Jews, and the Reform Jews. Now, although there's and this is not a blanket statement on all conservative and Reform Jews, but a lot of them happen to be left-leaning and liberal. So a lot of the conservative, and when I say conservative, I'm not talking about politically conservative. A lot of the conservative and Reform Jews happen to be anti-gun because they are more left-leaning. Now, in the Orthodox world where I come from, most people that I found are pro the Second Amendment and pro-gun. The issue that I find in the Orthodox world is many of them either don't want to have anything to do with it. They're like, oh, we just don't want guns in the home. We don't want to deal with it. They're dangerous. Or it's we're closet gun owners because we don't want to become pariahs in the community to all the other people who are not anti-gun, but like just not want to have anything to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, being as vocal as I am and willing to call Jews out who are trying to either restrict our guns or, trying to literally just abolish the Second Amendment, I get some flack. There's no question about it. But at the same time, and more than getting flack, I have people reaching out to me left and right. Hey, we think it's time to get a gun. And even though for years I've been talking about it, I have to kind of check my ego and say, yeah, no problem, instead of saying, yeah, sucker, told you so, So there definitely is a very big uptick in gun ownership in the Jewish communities. And it's interesting to see who is vocal about it and who's not. But a majority of people are not vocal about it.
I think industry-wide, we're seeing that as I view we have such an opportunity here. So we've been, making this case for a long time as a community for the Second Amendment, for the individual right to self-defense. And then, like so many other things, when it becomes personal to the individual, now I need a gun. And so therefore my worldview is going to change because I've felt this immediate need. Mm-hmm. Then we're seeing a little bit of pushback. We finally got what we wanted. We've converted people into gun owners. And yet we're still resistant in some cases to bringing them on board. But I think it's because it's a little more challenge than people expect. So you get someone who might be left-leaning, more collectivist in a mindset. Okay, now I need a gun for my immediate self-defense, but I may still hold these other political views that we're at odds on. It's going to take more than just, all right, welcome to the shooting community. It's going to have to take education, like what your books are designed to do, that are going to shift the overall public opinion on the Second Amendment. But we can't just, a colleague of ours said, I don't even want to work with anybody who hasn't always been pro Second Amendment. I don't want to work with them if they've Johnny come lately to this issue. And I think that's a mistake for us in the gun community.
I agree.
I mean, I definitely agree with that, but on the flip side, I guess you can say that there is that reservation of working with people who all of a sudden feel the need to buy firearms, yet the people they're voting for, the people the topics, everything that they're voting for is going, is bringing collectivism, is bringing socialism, is bringing a something that would require us to use our firearms to fight against. So it's kind of hard to bring that in, but like you said, education is key. And to just completely shut them out, I think would be a big mistake.
Right. And we're not going to advance it if we ignore them or push them away or don't welcome them in or talk to them. Nothing will change.
Yeah.
Right.
And for a lot of issues, this is a canary in the coal mine issue. Like we've got a glimmering hope of letting them see the importance of the individual at this moment. But we're headed to break. When we get back, I have some more questions for our guests, the Pew Pew Jew, on the Gun Shop Show. Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals. Framing just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through
through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the woodshed, had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed.
Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key
To success!
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key.
To success!
Or if you lock your keys in your
To
car.
success!
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success!
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So, with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key! To success!
the Ruger Security 9 LTO, an exclusive new firearm only from Liberty Tree Guns. This is an affordable pistol that comes with Ruger's renowned reliability and workmanship, and comes with an optic with a 3-year warranty. If you haven't ever shot a pistol with an optic on it, it's a lot of fun and you can really acquire a target quickly. Alright, Ruger Security 9 LTO unboxing. So it pretty much obviously comes with everything the Ruger Security 9 would already come with, and this is how they look in the box. Ruger started doing this insert in the box, which is kind of nice. We've had to modify it a little bit to make sure that your optic fits. So there's a cutout so the cover can go on and then the gun can fit right here in that. They come with 2 mags, so a lot of price point guns, you're just getting 1 mag, but you get 2 15-round, OEM mags. A couple little bonuses is the optic comes with the AR mounts. So if you want to pull this optic off and run it on an AR, you've got everything that you need. That's a freebie, just comes in the box. Once we pull this insert out, here's where all the goodies that come with the optic. Got a 3-year warranty on the Firefield optic, the user manual. It has the tools for both mounting the optic if you want to take it off, and also the adjustment screwdriver for the windage and elevation, and then all of the factory information for your pistol. So this is the format that those will come in. And again, guys, remember, this is an option if you are excited to try out an optic on a pistol and you want to do it for a price point. So these at this price are cheaper than some guys are paying for just an optic. You're getting the gun and the optic. You can get the price and all the details at libertytreeguns.com. Just search LTO.
Hey there. We got your lab results back. It looks like you have a fever, and the only prescription is more Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show, your favorite gun program with your friends in the gun business. That's us here at Liberty Tree Guns. We are coming to you live from our favorite little gun store here in Carthage, Missouri. If you're just casually listening, think you misheard me, but I did indeed say we are joined by our guest who we're excited to have, and I've already had some great conversation with, and that is Yehuda Remer, aka the Pew Pew Jew. Yehuda, I have a few. I'm going to oversimplify things like any good interviewer. Do you view yourself as a Jewish man who intends to be an advocate and primarily change opinion within the Jewish community, or do you feel like you are primarily an activist within the Second Amendment who's bringing a Jewish perspective?
Absolutely the second one. I've had numerous conversations about this. There are many different groups within the 2A community that are, the liberal gun owners, the transgender gun owners, and I find, and this is not a knock on them whatsoever, I stand arm in arm with them, and I actually am friends with a lot of them. A lot of times they're bringing, we are transgender, or we are liberal gun owners. Now, that's all fine and good. Personally, for me, I am a Second Amendment advocate that brings the Jewish perspective. First and foremost, I am a 2A advocate because the Second Amendment is for everyone. And I wholeheartedly believe that. So the fact that I bring a Jewish perspective only I guess it strengthens my support and views of the Second Amendment.
I think it's important because any demographic, it doesn't matter which it is, some of the ones you mentioned, even us on the conservative, the libertarian side, we hide behind certain elements of our identity if we get criticism from the other side. So if somebody says, I don't like these things that you're doing, it's easy to say, well, you're saying that because you are my opposition for these reasons. If I'm a libertarian and you're criticizing me, even if it's not necessarily political, it's because you're a liberal and you just want to see me go down. And I'm sure that happens in the Jewish community where by being from that perspective, you can say, look, I am from the same background as you, and I believe in the Second Amendment for these reasons, and it takes away, at least within that discussion, that whole thing, the argument of anti-Semitism, anything that might be used as a straw man argument, they don't have that in that situation.
No, absolutely. When my first book came out, I never actually envisioned myself becoming a 2A activist. I mean, it's contrary. I had no idea what the hell I was doing in the community, right? I wrote a book on gun safety for children, and I put it out in public. People were able to buy it, and I was shocked that, like, holy cow, people are actually buying my children's book, and not only buying it, people are liking it. Like, I actually wrote a children's book on guns, and I knew nothing about guns. I just knew I had kids that I wanted to educate. So it kind of fell into the advocacy side. And like you said, I use the Pew Pew Jew brand originated because I needed money for my books. So I wanted to sell T-shirts and all this kind of fun stuff so that I can support my writing habit. And that's really how it came to be. So the advocacy side for me is the most important thing. The fact that I'm an Orthodox Jew strengthens my belief in the 2A.
Absolutely. And I want to get into the children's book thing because, I was raised in a household with guns. And so the culture around gun safety was built in for me, in a rural area where you grow up hunting, whether or not you're from a family who's hardcore into shooting sports and owns a bunch of guns and shoots all the time. Regardless, everybody in the square mile, block where you live out in the country knows there's at least a hunting rifle or an old shotgun in the house. The discussion's been had since you're little. What I found, though, as I grew up and went out into the world, I had even in law enforcement, guys who were on schedule to become cops who'd never had that built in, the importance of guns, the importance of gun safety, how we hold it not only as near and dear as a belief and as a cultural element of who we are as Americans, but just a practical side of when you pick up a gun, don't put your finger on the trigger, point it in a safe direction. What I love about you starting with children's books is I think the worst thing we can do is just leave guns as this mystery that's only the only education that a lot of the public has is things that happen in movies which aren't accurate, and you know, guns are being used not in a non-defensive way. So that's the only introduction a lot of children get to guns. So when they find one, you know, if they're having a sleepover, a friend comes over and they discover a gun and an accident happens, it's almost always the kid that was not educated. Your books start from very early familiarizing children with guns and gun safety.
Yeah. So my first book, Safety On, I started writing that because even though I was married, 2 kids, out of my house, out of my, the house I grew up in. My wife and I were in a small apartment in LA where I'm originally from. And one night we were by my parents' house for dinner, and my younger brother was like, "Hey man, when are we going to go shoot your Glock?" And my parents had like a full-on Chernobyl meltdown. I mean, we're talking about like, they didn't talk to me for weeks. And they, I'm irresponsible. They can't believe I would bring a tool of death into the house. And I'm just sitting there. I'm like, well, that's fine, but I'm married. I'm out of the house. And, you let me go to Israel for 2 years by myself. I'm responsible enough to get married. I'm responsible enough to have kids, but I'm not responsible enough to have a tool. And from there, I decided, I'm like, okay, how am I? And mind you, I was very much not in the gun world. I owned a gun because I enjoyed shooting guns, and that was it. I knew nothing about anything. Literally nothing. And I decided, how can I educate my children so that they'll be safe? And of course, you always find the Eddie Eagle program. But what I found with the Eddie Eagle program was that all it does is talk about what to do if you find a gun somewhere it's not supposed to be, which is obviously very important, but there's so much more to gun safety than that.
Oh yeah.
So I went to the next best place for research, which was Amazon, and I was shocked to find that there are no books on the market specifically written for kids. Not, like I said earlier, not for parents on how to talk to kids, but specifically for kids to read. And as someone who grew up always enjoying creative writing, I kind of pulled out my iPhone and on the notes app, I wrote this whole book in about 20 minutes. And I sent it to a buddy of mine in the LAPD, and he got back to me and was like, "Dude, your writing sucks. I'm going to redo the whole thing for you because you need to learn the right lingo." And he gave me the most amazing constructive criticism. And all of a sudden, after 3 months of editing, going back and forth, I had a finished product. And I tried shopping it around, and it took me 5 years to get the first book published.
Wow. And it started like so many great ideas, which are, I went to go buy something, and I couldn't believe it didn't exist. I have a backstory in that fashion that we can get into another time, but a lot of things happen that way, where it's like, I went to go buy this because I thought there's an obvious need.
Necessity is the mother of invention.
Absolutely. So we're coming up on another break. When we get back, we'll get into what that book is. And stay tuned for a very exciting example of your host, Eli Bruton, putting his foot in his mouth, because I have a feeling I'm getting ready to on Jewish culture.
Like a professional.
On the Gun Shop Show.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Always.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been it's been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and it's just land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Listen here, Pilgrim. This here is the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. I'm your host, Eli Bruton, and I want to remind you really quick, if you want to win a $50 gift card to Liberty Tree Guns, which you can use in-store or on libertytreeguns.com, where you can find more than 50,000 gun products. You can find all of our great consignment guns. You can go there and reach out to us to put your gun on consignment or trade it in or sell it. We have absolutely the best system to get you paid for your firearm of anything out there. All right, right before the break, I made a note here. It's not very often that I willingly prepare to embarrass myself. So we're joined by the Pew Pew Jew, Yehuda Remer, and we're talking about gun culture, Jewish culture, and we're talking about his children's books that are on the topic of guns. But before we get back into why your books are so important and why they have filled a much-needed niche, I had a thought when you were telling the story about your family, and I'm going to talk about something that may very well be just a stereotype that I've picked up from television.
Okay.
And I want to remind you, before we went live, you said nothing is off limits, that you were
100%.
Okay, so the perception I've gotten, tell me if this is true or not, is that Jewish families, parents, tend to have a lot of influence or opinion on what their children do and their behavior, even as they become adults. Is that a real stereotype or something I just picked up?
It is absolutely true. And this always gets me into trouble when I say it, but like I said earlier also, you don't have to like me. The idea of that Jewish guilt, that you see in the movies and the TV shows, absolutely true. Oh God, it sucks. I hate it. And
you're killing your mother, like that kind of stuff.
Exactly, right. Oh, that's so. Oh God, God, you just gave me flashbacks, PTSD right there. No, it's one of those things, that guilt trip that you see in all these, the TV shows depicting Jews is absolutely true. Luckily, I've always been the black sheep in my family. I've always beat to my own drum. So I've always done my own thing, and it used to drive my parents crazy, and I was okay with that. I'm like, they're like, it's like you said, right? It's killing your mother, right? And I'm like, all right. Like, it is.
Yeah, she's still here.
There's a reason.
Yeah, okay.
there's a reason I ask, because I would say the silver lining or the side effect of that is there's probably a lot of strength in the fact that whatever the culture is or the opinion among those families, and they're strong families despite the turmoil or the theatrics if somebody disagrees, it's still because like we think this is what's best for you and we want what's best for you.
Yeah.
So if we can shift that opinion within the Jewish community, instead of having a freak out that you own a Glock, instead, if we can make that a good thing, then I would think that would, within the family structure, be more likely to permeate out throughout the community and last versus being an uphill battle like it was for you.
Well, it seems like this year alone, there's been a huge turnover with regards to liberals owning guns. If a good portion of them are Jewish, maybe that tradition can begin.
I mean, look, I definitely think it can. And again, I'm coming from the Orthodox world, and it happens to be that there are tons and tons of Orthodox Jews that do own firearms.
Mm-hmm.
But the issue is that they're closet gun owners. They don't talk about it. Now, I'm not saying, friggin' jump on the table at synagogue and pull out your AR and your AK and both hands. I'm a gun owner. I'm not talking about that. But I'm saying that, like, it's okay to be a gun owner and talk about guns. And more importantly, we need these people to get involved in the Second Amendment. And that's what I find very much is lacking. So there are a lot of gun owners out there who, will tell their parents, but again, they just aren't out there talking about firearms in the Second Amendment and the importance, or even, look, yesterday was International Holocaust Day, right? There's nobody talking based on what we're seeing in this country now, and with Biden and Harris now, and their slew of anti-gun laws that they're going to try passing. There's no one in terms of the Jewish world that are out there saying, no, this is so reminiscent of Nazi Germany. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what Hitler did. Now, I'm not comparing them to Hitler, right? For all those people who are going to freak out saying, oh, I'm not comparing them to Hitler. What I'm saying is that before any dictator, go through history, before any dictator began to control the populace, the first thing they did was restrict gun rights. And if anyone should know, it should be Jews.
Right. I mean, we have to think, if there was the sentiment that a lot of American gun owners have, as far as my right to own a gun is a life or death issue that transcends current political climate, that transcends whatever the law says. I believe that it's a God-given right. Had that existed, and had the Jews in Nazi Germany resisted with lethal force, maybe history would be different. And I don't know if anybody's like bold enough to say, because we have to be reverent of what exactly happened. But now, from your perspective, can you make the argument that that the Second Amendment should be a discussion in remembering the Holocaust?
Oh, I think it absolutely should. I mean, the Jews of let's take the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, for example. The Jews of Warsaw at the beginning of the war were 300,000+ strong. The Nazis came in, they passed the Nuremberg laws. Jews had their gun rights restricted. All of a sudden, 80% of the Jewish population in Warsaw are dead. Then you have the uprising led by Mordechai and Alevich, and how did they fight? Well, they ambushed Nazi patrols, stealing their weapons, and over a period of time, they were able to accumulate a big enough arsenal that the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising lasted longer than both the Polish and French armies lasted against the Nazis. So anyone who would say that turning in your gun, like, oh, if the Jews of Warsaw, had their firearms, or if the Jews of Europe had guns, that might have turned out different. Now, I'm not taking away God has a plan, and whatever God's plan was is what it is. But The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising is a perfect example. The Bielski partisans who became famous after, the movie Defiance, they saved 1,200 Jews by banding together in the forest and fought as partisans. You have Abba Kovner of the Vilna Ghetto, becoming, God, in essence, his name was the Avenger. I mean, you can't get, you see the Avengers nowadays, and you're like, these guys are a bunch of pansies compared to this guy Abba Kovner. Yeah, real life. I mean, this guy literally, after the war, was planned on poisoning the water in Germany to kill all Germans. I mean, this guy was crazy, but he awesome, but crazy.
Well,
so I'm just saying.
What a great example. What you're saying is it's not just could have guns made a difference. They did. And here's some examples where they absolutely did. And there's almost, that I can think of, no refuting those arguments and the examples that you just made.
Yeah, like I said, there are people who will refute it, saying like, oh, these were just pocket resistances. And can you make an argument? Yes. But, it's not just the Holocaust, right? Right after the war, you have the War of Independence in Israel, right? You have the 1948. Well, all of a sudden, you have a pocket of Jews being surrounded by millions of Arabs who are attacking them and want to kill them. And what did the Jews do do you know the first Air Force, just to show you like the difference gaining weapons can make? The first Air Force, Israeli Air Force, was built out of smuggled Messerschmitt 109s. Literally, Nazi airplanes made up the first Israeli Air Force. And it just shows that the idea of weapons really could make a difference.
It changed history forever.
Yeah, I mean, I used to work at a gun store, and a World War II vet rolled in, and he had a Walther P38 still stamped with the Nazi insignia. And I bought it off him for what, I don't even remember how much, but I have it in my safe now. And I bought it because I want my kids to understand that it's the gun. The gun doesn't make a difference. It's who controls the gun that will make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like, sometimes you have to pick up your enemy's sword and use it against them.
Mm-hmm. I love it. I'm actually really excited, even more excited now that we're having this conversation than I even thought. So this is the end of the first hour, which means if you're joining us on television on our great partner on KODE 12, you need to jump over to Facebook, type in Liberty Tree Guns. You can watch the whole show there. If you're listening on the radio or the live stream, stay with us. We have more with the Pew Pew Jew. I'm going to ask him what is his headwear all about on the Gun Shop Show.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Old Glory Auctions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do it.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So just get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best place. And then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right. I'll do better this time.
And then, and so let me finish the ad and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, Glory Auctions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
Old Glory Auctions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Our member's girlfriend is on her way to pick up her kids from her ex-husband's house. She asked our member to tag along because of her ex's temper. As they arrive at the home, her ex emerges yelling and gesturing. He approaches his ex-wife and grabs her, attempting to drag her inside. Fearing for her life, our member, a trained CHL holder, jumps out of the car with his gun drawn and demands the ex-husband release her. Seeing the gun, the assailant retreats. The situation then takes a bizarre turn as the assailant dials 911 to report our member. As a result of the aggressor's lies, our member was wrongfully arrested. Our member had to undergo lengthy legal proceedings. However, he was ultimately cleared of all charges.
Hey everybody, it's Eli at Liberty Tree Guns here at 530 West Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri, and I want to show you a gun collection that we just bought from an individual. A little bit of everything in this one. We wrote a check for 22 guns. Got some newer lever guns, cool Henry Silver Boy, some older shotguns. This is a cool old 410 double barrel. This was a good mix. There was some newer type stuff, some old stuff here, some black powder, some cool Colt, black powder revolvers, newer Rugers, Mark IIIs, PMR 30, Taurus Judge, couple of Taurus revolvers, got a long slide 1911 right here, and then got this cool Llama 45. We just sold the sister to that gun in 38 Super. This particular individual, this was half the collection that we bought from him. And so I just want to remind you that we pay top dollar for entire collection. So we'll buy one gun or 100 from you, and we can offer consignment where we sort of establish what these guns are worth and we pay you out when they sell. Or in the case of this one, we offered consignment, we discussed it, and then we offered a cash price, which was a little bit less than the consignment settlement price, but it's quick. It was one check and we paid those all out to this individual. And probably the biggest, baddest, coolest one of the whole mix was this Bushmaster BA 50. So we have everything from little antique 22s to 50 cals in this one collection. I want to remind you that we'd love a chance to buy your collection. Find us at libertytreeguns.com or here on Fur Road in Carthage, Missouri. See you soon.
Hey podcast listeners and live stream viewers, I wanted to let you know that the Gun Shop Show is made possible by our friends at Mid-America RV. Being in the customer service industry, I have a really high standard for how customers are treated. Mid-America RV does it right. I've got my RV through their dealership and I've taken it all over the country. We made it to South Padre Island. We've gone to Colorado several times. And if you've ever owned an RV, you know there's a lot that comes with it. So who you get it from matters, and it's extremely important that you have support after the sale. They're located just outside of Carthage. They have a really vast inventory and they are home of, I believe they call it a forever warranty. So I urge you, if you're in the market for one, to check them out. It's a really fun and can be very affordable way to get your trips in. So visit them at midamericarv.com. We appreciate their support of the Gun Shop Show. If you're in the market for a travel trailer or fifth wheel, check out Mid-America RV.
Hey y'all, it's Mel with Pro Outfitters. Once again, I'm on the go, but I always make time for the Gun Shop Show.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
Welcome back. It is the Gun Shop Show, and like we said, what is it? We don't know. Well, today it's a very interesting discussion.
Where were we at now? We're like episode 43, still trying to figure it out.
Figuring it out, and the theme song should probably always stay, what is it? We don't know, because it changes every episode. So there's not a lot of situations where I find myself feeling out of my element, a little bit embarrassed or socially out of whack. But I got to admit, my lack of familiarity with some issues and cultural things with Jewish people makes me feel like a complete redneck, which I am.
Right.
Yeah, I can wear that
totally.
proudly. But so I've been given the green light, though, to ask questions. So we're joined by author, great mind on the Second Amendment, and public speaker. That is Yehuda Remer, the Pew Pew Jew. Yehuda, I want to get into your children's book, but if for those watching on our live stream, they're going to notice that you're wearing something on your head. Tell us about it.
Yes. That's custom. That's custom made.
This is a custom made one. So these are called, there's two names that a lot of people who aren't Jewish have heard, either a yarmulke or a kippah. Now, we'll go with the word yarmulke. Really, yarmulke comes from two Hebrew words, yira malka, which means fear the king. And the idea behind it is that, let's say we are at a 7-Eleven and we see a candy bar and we are like, I'm going to try stealing it. The idea behind it, but behind the yarmulke, is that the king is always there. Fear the king. Make sure, like, do the right thing. Don't do it. He's always watching. He's always right above us. So that's the idea behind it. These ones I actually sell on my website. Shameless plug. Two camo ones, this is the one I'm wearing right now. Let's see how do we do it. There we go. You get my logo. You got this cool camo.
Nice.
And then I have the black and white winter camo with my logo. So you can get these on my website for $12.95. And if anyone goes and buys them and type in, it says at the checkout, it says, notes. If you write the Gun Shop Show, I will autograph your yarmulke for you.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
That's
there
awesome.
we go.
I feel like we need one for the show.
So
I have to buy one.
It would. I don't know. Would it be offensive if we wore one and we're not of the Jewish religion?
I've got that question a lot. I don't think it would be offensive. If you tell people, hey, we got this as a gift. Hell, the T-shirt I'm wearing is probably the biggest seller I have, and I cannot even begin to tell you how many non-Jews are like, can we buy that shirt? Here it says,
yeah, let me see it.
Gun control is not kosher.
And it's a pig on it. A pig smoking a cigar. I love it.
I have this on posters, patches, mugs, hoodies, everything, and people always ask me, they're like, hey, is it anti-Semitic if we wear that? I'm like, it's anti-Semitic if you don't wear it.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, I love it. And in fact, when I went to ask you about it, I didn't say the word yarmulke because in the back of my mind, I'm like, is that even right? And am I going to be that guy? And you said, well, non-Jewish people call it this.
The layman.
But I got some great news for you.
Okay.
Put Logan on screen.
Okay. Just Logan?
Just Logan.
All right.
So when we tear down this this background,
the atrocity,
you can use it for more camo material for your yarmulkes. Free material. So I love the camo yarmulke because I assume there's not much like that for sale on the marketplace.
Well, there's a company that I use, and they sell tons of different types of yarmulkes, and they have 4 different camo patterns that you can buy. Now, I buy them, and then I have my logo embroidered onto them. So, yeah, you can see right there, I have them embroidered on. These have been such a resounding success. I've had people, and this is what's amazing, since I started the Pew Pew Jew journey, I've had people from like rural Alabama saying, hey, we are Jews. We've never been to synagogue, but we're buying one of your yarmulkes, and we can't wait to go to, synagogue on Yom Kippur, the high holidays for the first time, just so we can show off the yarmulke. And I'm like, wow, like I'm getting people to go back to synagogue just because of the yarmulke. I'm like,
just
hey,
to show it off,
right?
Yeah, I'm like, I'll take it. Like I'm actually reaching a lot of people who. And it's interesting because, again, it was never my goal, but I'm actually reaching tons of people outside the Orthodox world who are finding my website, my brand, kind of like the grunt style of Jews, right?
Yeah.
They kind of a place that they can call their own, where they can, wear the merchandise, and they're like, oh, we are proud Jewish gun owners, not just proud gun owners. So it's been a really interesting journey with, the yarmulkes and all my everything that I have on my site. It's really been a blessing.
Well, I have another suggestion for a book for you. With all the questions and topics we've talked about with treading lightly and trying not to offend, you could write something called "Is It Anti-Semitic?" and just list of all of these things. And we're like, is it wrong to ask this?
Yeah, right. What is it? A how to question guide to navigate
right.
Trevor, go ahead and pull up the Pew Pew Jew website, and let's go through some of that merch. But, I mean, what a beautiful recipe of culture to imagine an Alabamaite Jewish man putting on a camo yarmulke, getting in his pickup truck, and going to synagogue. I mean, it's just probably not something that people would even realize all of those elements would even align, that would be a thing.
Yeah, like I said, it's been an amazing journey, a journey that I didn't even think about would ever happen, because it would never happen. But it's been great. Those two have been huge sellers. The Moses one with the 2 tablets and the AR.
Oh, I love it. Pause on that there, Trevor.
Yeah,
so
the God-given right.
Yeah, let's describe these, because a lot of our audience is listening on the radio only or the podcast, and they're not getting this visual. So make sure I have the domain right. Trevor, read that to me.
thepewpewjew.com.
Okay, so we've got T-shirts and merch, which I'm urging all of you, whether you're a Jewish listener or not, because these are designs that are awesome. The Moses one, for example, for Christians and Jews, the imagery of that makes sense. And then tell us about the other one that we see on screen.
The other one is a menorah, this is one of my favorite ones, because we just had Hanukkah a month ago and it was such a huge success. It's a menorah made completely out of guns, and it says "Light 'em up."
Light 'em up. I love it.
I love it too. That's awesome.
Let's keep going down these. And so anybody can go to the pewpewjew.com, and any of these designs that jump out to you, it's important not only because they're cool and they're worth it on their own, but as Yehuda has described to us, these help fuel the things that he's doing, which we're still yet to get into, all of the things that he's doing with children's books and education. But supporting him will support those future projects. So let's talk about these 2 designs we have.
So the one on the left, the black shirt, not gun related, but it's a picture of a spinning dreidel, and in the font, the font is the CNN font, and it says CNN spins more than my dreidel.
I love it. Welcome to the gun show on the right. I don't know if you can zoom in. Let's describe that one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. That's actually Samson standing over the pile of 1,000 Philistines that he killed, holding the jawbone of a donkey, and he's just flexing his muscles.
Welcome to the gun show. I love it. Keep going. We got about 2 minutes. We'll fill this with his merch, and then we'll come back, and I swear we're going to talk about the books more.
Tactical Shark. I don't remember how that goes. It's a pew, 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 pew.
Baby shark. Yeah. I made that one for my kids, and they actually have a shower curtain of that exact thing hanging up in their bathroom.
That's awesome.
I love it. That's the Baby Shark. Normally do, but we got Tactical Shark. Pew, 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 pew. Tell us about the rest.
So the one next to that one is in the same font as the Declaration of Independence. It says, instead of "we the people," it's "we the chosen people."
Like it. Never forget. Tell us about this one.
So this one is really near and dear to my heart. My grandfather was in 11 different concentration camps, including Auschwitz, where at 14 years old, he was pulling gold teeth out of dead bodies. And it says, never forget. And in the middle of that, the number B-7937 was the tattoo on his arm. He survived the war, and then that's why it says survivor on top. And he ended up joining the U.S. Air Force during Korea, where he worked basically re-engineering like MiGs so that the Air Force knew better how to shoot them down. So he's a survivor, he's a patriot. So
your stories like these remind me and light a fire again within me of why we can't let America and what makes America great die. The story of that surviving and him to come here. We'll be right back on the Gun Shop Show. Hey everyone, the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by Carthage Lock and Key. If you need anything to do with a lock or a key
to success.
Did they tell you to say that?
No, I just thought it sounded good.
They have a mobile service, so they can come to you and cut pretty much any kind of key
to success.
Or if you lock your keys in your
to
car.
Success.
I'm talking even security modern chip keys.
To success.
Trevor, could you just jingle the name of the business?
Okay. Yeah, I'll do it good this time.
So with all of my properties and all of the needs I have, I trust
Carthage Lock and Key to success.
Hey Adam and Lauren, thanks for jumping on here so we can make an ad for the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're huge Second Amendment advocates and big supporters of Liberty Tree and the Gun Shop Show.
All right, so for the ad, we're going to want to go over what you offer.
We do all the standard auto, home insurance, life insurance.
We also do a lot of rental property, whether that be commercial rental or residential, duplexes, apartment complexes, single-family dwellings. And we have specialty policies for all your firearms.
You have commercial coverage on my rental properties, so we can put that in the ad too. And I was thinking that we'll talk about how you're big supporters of the store and how you come in the store pretty much every day on your lunch break and buy guns.
Maybe don't mention the everyday thing because my wife does watch the show, but we've been known to come in occasionally.
Every once in a while.
All right, guys, I think that we have everything we need to make an ad, so once I get it done, I'll give you guys a holler to check it out. Trevor, don't put it in the ad, but those guys are in here literally every day on their lunch break. Hey everybody, Eli here, and I'm really excited to tell you that the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by one of my favorite places on earth. Located here in my hometown of Carthage on the beautiful historic square, the Emporium on the square, and the Woodshed. It's a art gallery, an event center, a gift shop. They have art classes, and there's very unique Americana artwork from famous artists like Andy Thomas. They handle a lot of his originals. Framing just has this incredible old school vibe, and you can feel the history coming through
through. You have to check out the art gallery, but then as you work your way to the back, my favorite part, the woodshed, had a lot of great meals in here. They've got burgers. I love their catfish. Excellent. Chicken and waffles even. It's incredible. And it's also a music venue, so we got to see my favorite band of all time, the Ben Miller Band. Ceiling was literally raining down. They were rocking so hard. But the best thing, owned by one of my favorite people on earth, that's Cherry Babcock. Check out the Emporium on the Square and the Woodshed. The Gun Shop Show, brought to you by little old ladies. They're little and they're old. They're little old ladies.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. We will announce the winner of last week's giveaway coming up soon. I want to remind you that if you'd like to be this week's winner, Logan, what do you have to do?
Tell him, Logan.
We made the joke that you were in your basement, and that's why your background looks the way that it does.
That's exactly why.
And when we cut to you, it seemed like you actually were in your basement and you were doing something else besides
I was
being on a live television show.
I was 1,000 miles away. I'm sorry. So to win the gift card, you need to share the feed, tag 5 friends.
Good.
So simple.
That's what you get paid to do,
simple.
Logan. So
You're the face, man.
I was somewhere else.
You
Sorry.
narrowly
Sorry.
pulled that one out. Narrowly. We were breaking down some of the great merch on the pewpewjew.com, where our guest, Yehuda Remer, activist, public speaker, and author, had some great merch, and I didn't expect to be as moved by the story of your grandpa and the significance of that shirt. I'm sure that when you tell that story, that makes that design much more meaningful to a potential customer.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I did last week, and every night I got old family photos of my grandfather, and talked about his journey from the ghetto where he was at, that was liquidated, and his journey through the concentration camps where he ended up being liberated by the Americans and making his way to America. So I did a whole every night, like a huge post every night about him, and I'm doing my other grandfather this week. I have tonight and tomorrow, and then that one will be done. But I've been going kind of through my own family history, and it's been, I had someone, literally, I woke up this morning to a message saying, man, waiting for you to tell, at 8:20 p.m. Central Time, waiting for you to tell the next installment of the story. It's like waiting for the next episode of Game of Thrones. I'm like, yeah, I'll take that.
Yeah, that it is extremely compelling stuff. I want to make sure, though, I don't know how much of the merch we had gone over, but I want to go through some more of it, because every single bit of it that I've seen is great. So, Trevor, if you're...
Can I just quickly, if you guys don't mind, whoever this week's winner is for your giveaway, can I sweeten the pot?
Sure.
Oh,
absolutely.
Great. Yeah.
Sure.
You just let me know, and whoever wins gets a Gun Controls Not Kosher patch.
I love it.
Awesome.
Patches are popular with
Patches
our
are hot
audience.
right now.
And we're starting a patch wall too, so we're gonna have to get one of those for ourselves.
Yeah, we'll get one. We'll get on and order it. I want one of those T-shirts. I know that's going to spur some conversation. There, so I'm sure some casual viewers might not even get the inference, but when anybody that's a little bit of a thinker is going to read that shirt, they're going to know me and look at me and be like, why are you wearing that? And so I love it. That's the kind of thing I love to do. So
it's provocative, man.
Thank you so much for offering that to our listeners.
Yes, thank you.
And to remind you, if you want to get in on that, now we've got a sweet patch to go with it, and the $50 gift card for this episode. All you have to do is get on the live stream. We're talking Facebook, so if you're listening on the radio, just get your phone out, type in Liberty Tree Guns in the Facebook search bar, and then you will see that we're live. And when we're live, you get on there, click share, and then tag 5 friends in the comments, and you'll get a chance to win the $50 card and also the great Gun Control Is Not Kosher patch. patch from the pewpewjew.com. Let's get into some more merch. All right, what is the one there on the right?
So that says L'chaim, made out of guns. And L'chaim,
of course,
you always hear like in the movies, right? They say, "Oh, L'chaim," right? So L'chaim basically means to life. It's the same thing as saying like cheers when you make a toast. So nothing says to life more than guns in the Second Amendment.
I can't believe how many great opportunities you have for T-shirt designs with this cultural overlap. Every new one I see that you explain to me, I love it. So tell us about these.
So this one, the one on the left, there's a song called Am Yisrael Al Chai, which basically means the nation of Israel lives. So I'm a huge Atlas Shrugged fan. So I kind of got, that lion is the Lion of Jerusalem. And Jerusalem being the capital of the Jewish world, holding up the Star of David on its back. So Jerusalem, is our home. So that's that one. Then for all my brothers and sisters in New York who have their gun rights being stripped away daily, I made the very famous I Heart NY shirt to I Heart 2A.
Love it. Love it. That one's easy.
Deal with it.
Gun life, so like thug life.
Yeah. 2A gun life with a little cigar and the famous sunglasses.
Yeah. Trevor, I want you to make a live AR sticker where at any moment that we have, we can slide those glasses on live in the show. All right, what's next?
What do we got down here?
Ooh, yes, my F-bomb shirt.
Very clever.
Thank you. My F-bomb shirt. And then I think, therefore, I am armed shirt.
Love it. I love it. The F-bomb shirt for the radio listener, it's got a logo of a bomb, and then it says Freedom Bomb, but the F is in red and bomb is in red. So it's edgy, but yet also subtle. Just if you want to make right about the right amount of point.
So the one on the left is actually the 10 plagues.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Just very subtle, very simple.
Yeah. Gets me thinking. That's what I love about these.
Yeah, definitely gets people thinking. And then you have the riding shotgun. Which I love.
Literally riding a shotgun. You have so many great ideas. I love these.
Thank you. Then you have Moses and David, King David, splitting seas and skulls for 3,000 years. Look like a comic strip. Warriors prayer.
I know a lot of the Christian listeners to our show and Christians who listen to our great partners on News Talk KZRG and Springfield's Talk 104.1 are supportive of Israel and the Jewish community. So there's going to be a lot of love for these designs and the meaningfulness, a way to show some community between those two demographics. We got about 50 seconds left. Tell us about these last two, and then we'll come back from break and break down your children's books.
Yeah, so the one on the left, the black T-shirt, is old school Galil, and it says "Every Jew is 762." Originally, I was going to put it with an AK-47, but my buddy pointed out to me that AK-47s are usually the guns that terrorists use. So having every Jew is 762 with a AK might not be in good taste.
It's so I was like, changing the model of the gun makes all the difference in the meaning.
all the difference, right? And then the shirt next to it is one of my favorite shirts I've ever designed. Spin and sound things, you would have the thing spin and it would land on an animal. And
we'll be right back to talk about the spin and shoot.
People are always asking me, Eli, you seem to get the best deals on things. What is your secret?
Old Glory Auctions and estate sales.
Trevor, I appreciate you jingling, but I have to say the ad part first because people need to know about the company.
Oh, I thought you wanted me to do it.
And then also, it's it's covering up my face. So just get a picture like from their Facebook page because that's the best place, and then just put it right up here where the Gun Shop Show logo is. Okay.
All right, I'll do better this
time. And so let me finish the ad, and then you can jingle. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So the best place to go is their Facebook page.
Oh, Glory Auctions and estate sales.
You know what? Fine. I'll just move in between the graphics and finish telling people that the best place to find out when
Old Glory Auctions and estate sales. I think I got it that time, man.
Land is everything to me. When I was born, I was brought home to the family farm, was raised, learned work ethic there, learned appreciation and respect for life and the land itself, and it just became second nature. I had to be there all the time. Whenever I wasn't on the land, I was not happy. But I learned to understand the land, learned to respect it, learned family values. My wife and I have bought a farm besides the one we live on, and it has just been a great investment, and it's been someplace that my son and I have shared the passion of hunting together, and land has been everything in my life. It has kind of kept me focused and gave me a place to be. It's kind of kept me grounded.
Hey, you know what makes this, the Gun Shop Show, possible? It's people who believe in the show. And someone who has believed in the show from the very beginning is my good friend Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply. Here's a message from Chris.
Guys, my name's Chris Chapman, owner of Whitehead Farm Supply, and I just want to take a few seconds here to let you know that we are going to be proud sponsors of the Gun Shop Show, and we appreciate everything that them guys are doing over there, and we just want to show them our support. Thank you.
So whether you have 2 chickens or 2,000 acres, Chris is your man. Give him a call. I guess that's pretty much the ad.
Whitehead Farm Supply.
Seriously?
Welcome back to the Member's Voice. This week, John, one of our Florida members, is going to share his experience with us firsthand. So listen up, members, because this story could be any one of us. I want you to pay close attention and make a mental note of what happened in a case like this. Here is John's story.
March 30th of last year, I was riding my motorcycle home from a group ride with my local hog chapter, and a guy in a minivan decided to pull up next to me in a bike lane and almost run me off the road. That guy proceeded to follow me 4 or 5 miles, basically cornered me in a one-way beach entrance and called the police, and I was actually arrested for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and improper brandishment of a handgun. I went to jail that night, but before I went, my wife made probably the most important phone call of our 12-year marriage, and that was calling the phone number on the U.S. Law Shield card and getting me the representation that I needed. I'm very, very proud to say that now, as I sit before you on January 19th, both charges in my case were dropped. And had it not been for U.S. Law Shield, I can just tell you that I am a first-year U.S. Law Shield member when this had happened. I'm going to be a lifetime U.S. Law Shield member because I would not have been able to really protect myself, especially financially with the costs involved, had it not been for this program.
Thank you so much, John, for sharing your story with us. Now remember, members, if you ever have to display your firearm, you call 911 first, you give them your name, your location, and ask for the services you need. Hang up and then call the U.S. Law Shield hotline. As always, members, keep sending your story to memberstories@uslawshield.com.
Welcome back to the Gun Shop Show. Right before the break, we were breaking down some great T-shirt designs, and there was a classic toy. I think every child has been exposed to the spin and see or see and say or whatever they're called, but it's a thing where you crank it and the arrow goes around and then it lands on something and it tells you what it is. So let's pull that back up on screen. Joined by Yehuda Remer, the Pew Pew Jew, author and apparently awesome designer and merch peddler. So tell us about the spin and shoot.
Yeah, I just always thought, we always hear in the gun industry people making, you have like your handgun going pew 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 and the silencer going pfft, right, and the warthog going brrr. So I was like, oh, how fun would it be if you make a spin and shoot T-shirt? I would actually love to see that as a real toy, but yeah. I don't even know where to start with that. So I'm gonna. I'm not even going to think about that, but I think it would end up being incredibly successful.
I think it would be too. Somebody needs to learn how to hack an old one, like just
put new sounds in it,
new sounds and stickers on it.
It couldn't be that hard.
That would be a viral if you could figure that out. Even just make one and make a video of it. That would go viral.
We should send that challenge out to the Gun Shop Show community.
Yeah.
Anybody out there tech savvy enough to reprogram a see and say? Was it see and say? We'll have to look it up.
I don't know.
Okay, Yehuda, let's get into your books. So you have written how many books?
I have written 5 books on firearms and 1 political book.
So let's get into the firearms books. Start with the first one you did. You mentioned it took you 5 years to get it published.
Yes. So my first book is called Safety On. It's an introduction to the world of firearms for children. It touches on every aspect of gun safety, from what to do if you find the gun somewhere it's not supposed to be, to range rules, to keeping your guns properly locked up, keeping them clean having a healthy respect for them, and obviously the 4 cardinal rules of gun safety. So I did that book, and then I actually converted that book to a coloring book. So it's the exact same book, just in coloring book format, because children are incredibly visual. So it gives them the opportunity to not just read the book, but also visualize the way they see it. So it kind of, internalizes a little more. Then I have a book. I surprisingly have one right here.
Let me tell you something about the coloring book, and before we move on to that second one. First, yeah. I'm going to go as soon as the show ends, and I'm going to order the coloring book for my kids. But you were so smart to do that, because my kids form their opinion on what restaurant we eat at based on whether or not they have coloring pages on the menus. And they don't really care about the food as much as, like, if they've got the good stuff that they can color, that's their favorite. So that's even better way to get the kid to take a moment to spend time with the topic, because my kids like to read also, but they read through and then they're done. When they can color, they'll spend more time on that page, absorbing, being influenced by what's on there. So I just had to commend you for that decision. I think it's a smart one.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So I'm definitely going to order one for each of my kids. Now let's talk about your second book.
So my other book that I wrote is called The ABCs of Guns. And it's exactly what you would imagine it to be. It is an ABC's book for different letters that come with different things. It's a lot of fun. People tell me I should send it to MSNBC and CNN. C is for clips.
So and you know what to say.
and M is for magazines. So
probably get some unintentional pickups on that, because they'll be just blown away, or like, you see this? See what's out there?
I'm so pissed off that I didn't like that Mom's Demand Action only blocked me and didn't come after me. Man, that
would be the best thing. That would be the best thing that could happen to you.
Also, right? Like, I would love for Shannon Watts to just absolutely destroy. Let me rephrase. attempt to destroy my books because I'd become a millionaire overnight. You know, I'd have the whole gun world. Oh, wow. She hates that book. It must be a good one. Let's go buy it. So,
that's what I'm thinking. I think we need to get the Gun Shop Show listeners to go get links to your books and go drop it around in the right places on Reddit. Can you believe this? You know, try their best to.
Please. And it would also help me because the minute they start banning me, I would call Ben Shapiro, who I mentioned earlier, you know, that I grew up with. I'd be like, yo, dude, they're banning me like crazy and coming after me. Can you like help promote my book? And literally,
there it is.
Yeah, there it is.
That's the playbook. Set it all on fire and watch where it goes. I love it. Ben Shapiro. It's I've never seen a sharper mind in terms of debating, you know, to get to a concise point making so quickly. So what a great advocate to have in your corner if you do, because I'm sure you say that would be the greatest thing, but in the middle of the storm, it would be a little unnerving. So it'd be great to have allies like him on your side.
Oh, absolutely. So then I have, so my next book after the ABCs was a book called 27 Words. And that's a breakdown of the 27 words of the Second Amendment for children. So it doesn't really talk about, you know, what the left always says, like, well, if you put the comma over here, I'm like, no, it's the founding fathers' original intent of what the Second Amendment was meant for, because it's very important for children to understand that although we take them shooting and teach them to shoot, why do we do that? And if they don't have an appreciation for our freedoms and what the Second Amendment protects, then teaching them to become the next John Wick is kind of pointless.
Absolutely.
So and that's why I wrote that one.
I didn't grow up in an area where our schools were particularly political or left-leaning, but I even remember, even here in Southwest Missouri, having a social studies teacher say, well, the Second Amendment really meant it's for a militia, which means the National Guard. It has not, when in reality, the writings of the founders and the opinions at the time, if you go past those 27 words and see what motivated them to write those 27 words, it was clear the individual right to self-defense and gun ownership was the intent. So I assume your book helps break that down.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That was one of the big things, is that it's not talking about the National Guard. It is talking solely about a militia, the way we believe a militia is.
And I know that the market is hungry for information like this, because the mainstream information does not teach the Constitution in that way. So most of the curriculum for homeschooling and things don't include this. This gives a way for parents, if they want to supplement the learning for their kids, or anybody that has a school, private school, or something that wants to present this type of information, can get your book for kids. I assume that you probably have schools and things that order your product, or at least you would allow them to.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been trying to get it into homeschooling programs, but they've been very, unfortunately, with the gun world and guns and kids, they've been very, very hesitant on, you know, getting any kind of gun book. So it is what it is. I'm just, you know, I keep plugging away, hoping that one day it'll happen.
You know what? Why don't we do this? We would like to, I don't know if you have a wholesale program or not, regardless, why don't we get some of your books and put them on the shelves here at Liberty Tree Guns?
That would be amazing. And yeah, I do. We'll talk after. That would be fantastic. I've been trying to get it into gun stores, and you would be so surprised how many people are like, oh, we're so interested. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, you have to spend $100 for like 15 books when you sell them for $14.95. You like literally double your money.
Yeah.
And they're like, I'll forget it. That's too expensive. See you later.
Yeah, not us. Not us. We're the real deal here at Liberty Tree Guns, and so we're in. We'll do it. We'll be right back on the Gun Shop Show.
Commercial idea for net fishes. I walk into the commercial director, we'll call him's office. I say to him, "Hey, how's it going?" He replies, "Good. We got your commercial ready to go. Are you ready to listen?" "Yeah, but before I do, I have an idea I want to float by you." He says, "Okay," a bit sarcastically. And I say, "All right." And I clear my throat and I start singing this song, something similar. "Netfishes, we're all really good friends, hanging out and stuff, and having memories to talk about when we were young. Snapfishes." And I say the business name wrong, like fishnets. He replies, "That's terrible. And you didn't even say the right business name at the end. It's your business." Then it cuts to Netfishes, where we can all be friends. End commercial.
The Gun Shop Show costs money to make, and the Gun Shop Show is brought to you by pecans and cheese. Not really. Actually, we didn't have any sponsors for this segment, and so I decided that I would take a snack break, and also I decided if you guys are tired of listening to me eat cheese and nuts, that you need to buy an ad. So from now on, if our ad sponsorships don't sell out, you're going to have to listen to me eat nuts and cheese. In order to sponsor the Gun Shop Show, send us an email at thegunshopshow@gmail.com.
Next week, chips.
Welcome back on the Gun Shop Show. I'm having so much fun getting to know our guest and what I soon believe will be a good close friend, Yehuda Remer, the Pew Pew Jew. I didn't know how this would go when we set up this interview. Honestly, I thought like segment 2, I might say something stupid about yarmulkes and it would get awkward and we would close out the interview.
Just 2 hours of awkward silence.
But yet, I think it's gone great and I've had so much fun so far.
Yeah, it's funny because I know the person that introduced us was Ava.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget, like, the first time I was on her show, this was, like 3 years ago. Afterwards, she's like, I had no idea how our show was going to go either, but you really exceeded our expectations. I'm like, ouch. And so it's been, I'm, like I said earlier, right? I'm just super easygoing, and I mean, this is who I am. This is not a show. This is how I am in real life. You either like me or you hate me, and I just don't care.
Well, I love it. And before the break, we were actually doing a little business here, live on air, talking about bringing your books in, put them on the shelf. Because one of the things that we find is we have a strange amount of children fans of the Gun Shop Show. It's one reason why we watch the way, the type of content we put out. We keep it family friendly because I will go somewhere, I'll walk through a restaurant and I'll have a little kid, like a little 7-year-old kid, and the parents will go, they watch you on TV. And they love guns and they love the Gun Shop Show. And to the same extent, our customers come in and their kids want to come to the store, which, a lot of stores that are with grown-up stuff, kids are bored. And we have customers who are like, look, I'm buying myself a $800 gun. I'd love to be able to take something home for my kids. They get a little something to take home, and we give out stickers and things to kids. This would be a great way when dad or mom buy, spend $1,000 on a gun. Right here, they can get access to something that'll be a positive gun-based influence for their kids and give their kids something that they get to take home from Liberty Tree Guns.
Well, you get my books there, and we can. I'm in Dallas, Texas, so I'm really not far.
Yeah,
that's we can definitely. I'll fly down and we'll do a book signing if you guys want. I think that'd be fun.
That's amazing.
There's actually the one flight that our little airport in Joplin has goes to Dallas. So you could be here like 40. It's like a 38-minute flight.
Yeah, I took it recently.
Super short.
It was super short.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun. Come for a day, hang out with you guys, and do a book signing, get people in. Maybe I'll do a book reading, something. It would be fun.
Let's do it. We have a youth firearm safety event that we've done in the past where we do sort of like your books do. So the problem that I also had with the Eddie the Eagle program is that it stopped short of where I want to go with gun education. It's a good program. In fact, viewers of the show will watch the PSA that we put out for the Sheriff's Department where it says, hey, lock up your guns. It's a message to adults, lock up your guns, because not all kids know. And even if you think your kids know, when they have friends over, safe storage is imperative. Unfortunately, there's way too many tragic accidents with loaded guns that aren't stored properly. So one thing, though, that we found with the youth firearm safety days, we bring them in. We do incorporate a lot of the Eddie the Eagle things, but then we also take them shooting. And this is to give an introduction to kids who they might not have a family member influence that can give them the talk. They might not get to fire a gun in a safe and controlled environment. And what that does for them is it introduces them to familiarity so that, one, it's not this attractive thing that they don't know what it does and what power it has, and there's not the mystery behind it. They get to become familiar. They get to see the power of what a firearm does when you fire it, and therefore can treat it with the reverence and have the training all built into one event. So I don't know if we want to do the book signing. We might even be able to tailor events together, but certainly are having a lot of overlap there in our sentiment and our mission. So I would love to do that. Is there any of your books we have not yet talked about?
So I do have another book. Unfortunately, I didn't have the PDF on me, so I couldn't send it to you. It's called 105 Explosive Gun Jokes. And hold on one second. I might. Let me see if I can it's 105 Explosive Gun Jokes, and it's basically. I've had so many people tell me that the book is absolutely not funny at all, and that's okay because it's the ultimate corny dad joke book. Mm-hmm. So your wife is going to hate you, and your kids are going to hate you more because
I've got
you're
the Chuck Norris equivalent right here. Then
exactly right. So like it's one of those things that like your whole family's going to hate you because you're just going to be spewing these dad jokes that they're like, okay, totally not funny, but you as a gun-owning dad, you will be on the floor.
I love it. I'm already on board for all the books. We'll get all the books. We'll put all the books in stock, and I love that one. And also, like the Gun Shop Show, which is intended at times to be funny, I have also been told that it is not funny at all.
Mm-hmm. But see, something that most people forget, Eli, is that sometimes the joke's not for you.
Yeah.
It's for the person telling it.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the same thing with this show.
I think my
very accurate.
I think my biggest compliment I got is I was working at a gun store and we had a display of some of my books, and the joke book was up there, and this like 80-year-old guy comes and starts reading the joke book, and I'm not lying to you, he stands there for 25 minutes reading every page, and at the end of the book I see him put it down. I'm like, hey, what did you think about that book? Not telling him that I was the author. And he's like, some of them I got, some of them I didn't get. Most of them were just not funny. And I'm like, and for me, it was just like, yeah, right. No.
Hilarious, but never laughed.
I'm like, dude, you're 80 years old. You probably still carry your 1911 service piece. And, God forbid, even someone mentioned the word Glock in front of you. I'm like, it's exactly why I wrote this book for because of people like you. And I mean, there's super corny jokes. Like I have even my son wrote one of the jokes in the book. It's why did the revolver shooter hate? Why do revolver shooters hate parks?
I got nothing.
Because they have slides.
That's pretty good.
Right? My 10-year-old came up with that, and and then why didn't the college grad tell her parents how she paid for school?
Oh, this is edgy already.
Yeah, right. She was field stripping for money. It's just
yeah,
right. I mean, it's just like some of them are just horrible jokes, but that was the point. It wasn't. I'm not a stand-up comedian, right? I'm not going to be there just actually making you laugh. You're going to be sitting there laughing like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm laughing at this, but you'll still be laughing.
Yeah, that's some of the best humor there is. And it's almost funnier if some people don't like it. That's almost what makes it good.
Oh, absolutely.
So we are going to, off the air, when we get done with the show, it'll have to be after the Shover Drive, we will discuss the details of how to get a few cases of your books up here on the shelf. So if you're listening, I encourage you to get the merch directly from the pewpewjew.com, those great t-shirts, the yarmulke, the patches, but if you want to get one of the books, just hold tight, and as soon as we can get FedEx involved, we will get some inventory of all of those books. And our customers are the type that they want to advocate for guns. We also have a great sense of humor among our customer base, both from our viewers. Basically, if you don't have a sense of humor, you stop listening to the Gun Shop Show a while back.
Yeah, or you don't even make it in the first segment.
Yeah,
the second segment.
So they're going to love the joke book. They're going to see the value of the children's book. Certainly a perspective that hasn't been really approached in the way that you have. So I commend you. I'm a big fan already. Thanks so much for being a guest on the show.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
We've got about a minute left. Is there anything else you would like to convey?
No, I mean, if people want to follow me, you can get signed copies. If they're not going to go to your store, if let's say they don't live in Missouri, you can get signed copies of my books on my website. If you think my Herbie Hancock's worth all of $10, or you can go to Amazon to get all my books. And yeah, I have another book down the line. I have a big phone meeting tonight with a relatively large gun company to see if they'll sponsor the book. And I'm just excited. I love doing what I do, and meeting people like you guys. Just it's a great life.
We love it. What platforms are you on in terms of social media? Where can people follow you?
So my big platform I do right now is Instagram. They can find me at the Pew Pew Jew. So there, you could find me on Facebook. Please don't friend me if you find my personal account. If I do not know you, I will not accept it. But I do have a public page. I have so many people friending me, and then, hey, why aren't you accepting our friend request? I'm like, because I don't know you.
Thank you. This has been the Gun Shop Show.
Kids are curious by nature. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home by doing these simple tasks. Consider gun locks and/or gun safes for storage of firearms. Don't leave your guns unattended where children could reach them. Discuss with your children the rules of firearm safety. Sign your kids up for hunter safety classes. Firearm safety in the household is your responsibility. Do your part to prevent unwanted tragedy from striking in your home. For more information, visit JasperCountySheriff.org.
This just in. Huge cave found beneath the heart of the city. Spelunkers shared tales of an underground cavern system in Carthage, Missouri. Locals report the entrance to be at 10th and Garrison.
Cave Gang Pizza. Stop in and enjoy wings, wood-fire pizza made with local ingredients, and our full bar. Bring the whole gang and uncover a legend.
Buckle up, because belts just got better. With Core Essentials, the perfect fit every time. With 40-plus sizing positions. Styles for any situation. Whether in the boardroom, crushing sales and taking names, on your next adventure, in the great outdoors, or when you're done for the day and ready to relax. Get your perfect fit with Core Essentials.
The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. What is it? We don't know. The Gun Shop Show, the Gun Shop Show. Here we go, it's the Gun Shop Show.
I was going to say, man, we didn't come in off the sip cam. But there you go.
It's time. It's time for a sip. Show Drive. This is the Show Drive. It's the best and worst part of the show.
Simultaneously, yeah.
We still need to talk about the ATF.
Mm-hmm. We also need to let folks know who won that gift card from last week.
Oh,
and I feel like we should do that before we forget.
We're going to forget. Yes. Because this week, there's a bonus. Last week, we didn't have a bonus item. This week, there is a bonus item.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, want to remind you what we're talking about. Every show, we give away something. We... been doing $50 Liberty Tree Guns gift cards recently. That's what we're doing today.
Yep.
But today you also get a patch from our great guest, who is a ton of fun, even more fun than I expected to have. Some really interesting perspectives from the Pew Pew Jew. He threw in one of his patches. Gun control is not kosher. Pretty interesting perspective. And what's great about that particular patch, and it was probably my favorite of his T-shirt designs too, is... it's got, you don't have to be Jewish to get the joke.
Right.
You know? Yeah. And, but yet it kind of like represents from that angle in a way too, which is cool.
Well, no offense to him or any of Jewish folk, but I do enjoy a good pork.
Yeah, I'm a pork fan, but the joke sustains regardless.
For sure.
Regardless.
I'm going to get one of those shirts, and I'm going to be a little oxymoronic with it, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. That's okay. So anyway, every show we do one of these giveaways, and all you have to do is share the feed and tag 5 friends in the comments. And, you know, guys, it's not our idea just to, like, hack Facebook and get extra people in here. So we legitimately want them to get the chance to see the show. So we recommend that you think of 5 friends who either like a little bit of humor or... obviously are into guns, and tag those people. Don't just tag somebody that you don't think would be interested, but then you get a chance to win. And last week, people did that, and we have a winner.
Who is it?
You tell me. You're the guy.
Oh, you want me to tell you?
Yeah.
Okay. Lisa Mustaine is the winner of the $50 gift card. Congrats. Thank you for sharing and tagging. Also,
that's $50.
Wife.
A famous wife, yes.
Of Dave Mustaine.
Of Megadeth. That's what I hear.
Good old Megadeth.
What do you mean what's the one that goes, what do you mean I'm not so something?
Oh, I don't know. Hello, me. It's me again. Is that what you're talking about?
No, it's look it up.
I know one Megadeth song.
I don't know any Megadeth songs.
What do you mean I'm not your something? I go to court when I have to.
Is that what he
when
sounds
I'm not
like?
your what?
What do you mean? Type in "What do you mean, Megadeth." That's not the title of the song.
Is it "What do you mean"? What do you mean?
Let's see here. Peace sells music.
Peace sells, yeah. Peace sells, but who's buying? That's the gist of that song.
Not humans.
Peace sells, but who's buying? Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know you were such a Megadeth fan, man. News to me here in the Show Drive.
I like the premise of the lyrics of that song.
Oh, yeah.
I do not like the fact that the music video is a close-up of his mouth. I'm not a fan of that.
You're like, you just got done with ribs.
Also, I'm not a fan. This is 2 music videos that I've stumbled upon recently. I'm not a fan of the music video of Living on the Edge by Aerosmith.
Why? Is it too edgy for you?
Google it.
Okay.
It's going to be weird. I don't mean you have to Google it. I'm just telling the listener. Google it. And you will see what I'm talking about.
Is it...
We're living on the edge, but not as much. Not that much.
Maybe I know why. Is it because he's zipped in half or looks like half a man? At least in the screenshot.
He's half a man?
I'll let the listener go check it out.
Decide for yourself.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then, I'm sorry.
You're getting cultured.
Let us know.
Getting cultured on the Gun Shop Show.
All right. So I want to go loose in the new set, give people an introduction of what's going on around here.
We are, but you were going to talk about these news articles before we did the giveaway. Do you want to do this real quick?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just making sure that everybody on the team is prepared.
Oh, I'm prepared. We've got mobile mics over there. We got mobile cameras over there. We should have mobile cameras over there.
All right. You strapped in?
I don't know what mobile cameras are.
See, that's this whole thing.
When you said everybody?
Mm-hmm.
I just meant you do that.
Here's the thing.
What's the thing, dude?
Grab the mobile cam earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. And it was being used?
Mr. Hole was using it.
Oh, okay. Do you need... Well, you have Chrome on your phone?
We went through this. It doesn't work on my stupid Apple iPhone.
Here, I'll get it up and going on my device, guys. In the meantime, we could talk about this article.
Hey, let's just make a show on the fly.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. The headline is... What?
What?
Trevor, what's the headline?
Well, this is just a letter from the ATF.
The ATF suspends the cease and desist order
indefinitely
for
on the honey badger pistol brace debacle
from Q.
Yes.
So, if you've been watching our episodes about the ATF is racist and the ATF strikes again, and I don't remember we've had
the ATF strikes back.
All of that. You've been following the saga where the ATF said, hey, these braces are illegal and you have to stop making them. And then they're like, hey, let's ask everyone's opinion about the braces. And then they withdrew that letter. And everyone thinks, good, they withdrew this. Why do you guys speculate that is? Why did they say we're suspending that order? Go ahead and continue to do what you've been doing.
I think they just received such a big backlash that they kind of cowered a little bit, and that's why they withdrew their letter.
I have a theory.
What's your theory?
What if they're like, why fiddle dink around?
Sure.
With gun controlling an accessory if we're just going to ban ARs anyway?
That makes a lot of sense. You think that's where it's going?
I think that
it seemed plausible.
I'm not saying that I'm predicting that's what's happening, but why would an ATF office take an interest in that and then suddenly back off now that they have an administration that theoretically would be more in favor of?
Well, they've kind of done this before, at least with braces.
It'll be interesting to see, is this just a harebrained agency, position? Did somebody just wake up one morning and decide to do this? Or was it more top down? Is the boss man in charge? Hey, you're getting no, they're not yet, are they?
No.
Do we want to give them one?
Give them a tour right now?
Yeah, give them like a look.
Little tasty taste.
I could throw it in the fourth panel if you guys want to finish your thoughts on that.
Yeah, let's finish our thoughts on that.
I think it might have been
so genuine.
Are you gonna do it?
Am I gonna do what?
Switch it over.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was putting it in the foreground.
Yeah, there we are.
Hey, there we are.
From that distance,
anyway,
the camel background does not look as bad.
No, the colors are not as terrible.
Yeah,
everything is.
But up close, it's pretty terrible.
Not good.
No, it's not good. The new set is significantly quieter than being on the sales floor.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. The sales floor has been bumping.
It's been
bumping.
Yeah, it really has.
So this is it. It's a little messy right now, but we're into it. We're into it. Several of our listeners have taken advantage of joining U.S. Law Shield through the promo code.
Yeah, Liberty Tree.
Yeah, so we've had you come back and give us feedback. They've become a member. It was really crazy. The last concealed carry class I taught, he asked who would like a pamphlet, after they sort of gave their presentation of a lot of it's just stories of what's happened to other members. But
yeah,
one guy was like, I don't need it. And he kind of like had his arms crossed.
Kind of standoffish.
Yeah. And he's like, the guy kind of pointed it out. He said, how come? And he's like, I'm already a member. I've been a member for 3 years. Every other person in the class joined that day. 39 other people joined U.S. Law Shield. I get nothing but great feedback from people who have used it. They have an emergency hotline and a non-emergency hotline. And your card, let me see if I can pull that out.
It's really a no-brainer purchase, especially if you're going to carry a gun every day and you might have to use it at some point.
Yeah, so
to defend your life.
I'm going to cover up these numbers because they're really only available to members. But I'll give you an idea here. On the back side of the card, you've got that white number where my top fingers are, and then right where my bottom fingers are, you have 2 hotlines. Okay, the top one, the white one, is a non-emergency hotline where you can call and get legal advice from an actual specialist licensed attorney that will tell you, yes, this would be illegal. You can or can't do this in this situation, whether you're traveling or maybe you've had an incident that didn't arise to the level of an emergency or an arrest or criminal charges. They can give you some advice on how to navigate that. And then there is that red number at the bottom of every member's card, which is the emergency attorney hotline number. So if you're involved in a self-defense shooting, your first call should be to 911. Once you've given the necessary information to get help on the way, your second call should be that red hotline number before you call your spouse, anyone else, because that's going to ring straight through to a U.S. Law Shield program attorney who is going to get the information of where you are, whether you're in custody or not, and be responding to your location, physically coming to you night or day. And that's what you get with a U.S. Law Shield membership. That's what so many of our listeners have done because of 2 things. It's a no-brainer to become a member, and it also supports the show. U.S. Law Shield appreciates what we do here for the Second Amendment and the information that we put out. So, it's partnering with like-minded people.
Yeah.
And so it's $10.95 a month, and you get 2 free months in your first year when you use the promo code Liberty Tree, all one word. And also you get upgraded to Platinum Protection, where you get locked-in rate for lifetime of your membership. So regardless, I'm telling you, the price of everything else is going up.
Yeah.
The price of ammo, the price of houses, the price of cars, the price of insurance, soon to be the price of gasoline, I'm sure.
Yeah, everything.
But if you use the promo code Liberty Tree, all one word, when you go to uslawshield.com and click join now, when you use Liberty Tree, you will get upgraded. Your rate will never go up.
That's a pretty good deal, man. You can hang on to that for life, get grandfathered in like one of those apartment protection things in New York, where your rent, what do they call that? It's like a rent
protection.
Rent protection. Yeah. So
rent control.
Rent control. Yeah. So it's kind of the same thing, but with your attorneys, access to them attorneys. Pretty dope deal, honestly.
Yeah.
I think overall that you just having access to real legal advice should be the primary reason, because so many folks think they know the law and they pontificate as if they know the law.
It's terrible.
Yeah.
It's terrible on the sales floor. No offense. Sometimes we have customers come in and say stuff that's really dumb. And there's times when I can hear it through the wall, when I'm in the back, and they're telling, especially with one of the new guys, like, yeah, in Oklahoma, you can do blah, blah, blah. Totally illegal. And then they leave, and I poke my head out, and I'm like, don't listen to that. So if you don't want that,
Right.
Get the expertise of a real attorney.
Yeah, the real deal. The guys that are putting all the legwork into reading those laws and such.
Yeah.
We should have like a TV that stands up that's just got a lawyer there available all the time, and you can like turn and ask it questions. You know,
It's a good idea.
like Max Hedren, but a lawyer. Be like, legal. Do you guys know who Max Hedren is?
Sorry, no.
Oh man, yeah, that's before the 6 popped collar, so you're probably definitely not going to know who that is.
Yeah.
It sounds like a good reference, though.
Oh, dude, it's awesome. Have you ever? Yeah. Well, I don't really want to
Wanna know something crazy?
What?
CZ
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You have my attention.
may be buying Colt.
What?
Whoa.
I'm a skeptic.
Read that again. Firearms company Colt may be sold to CZ, a Czech firearms company with a long history.
This
Oh
just
my
in.
gosh, who's gonna write that check? CZ, the
Yeah.
check. Never mind.
CZ ain't.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's falling. My joke's falling apart here.
That's big time.
Yeah. Cheska
Now,
Zabrozovka.
you hear that and you might think, Colt, such a classic American company with some uniqueness to the way they produce firearms.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
They hold value. I mean, buying a Colt 1911, well, really any Colt firearm is like buying stocks and bonds. No, that's probably not a good, accurate analogy. It's like buying gold bullion.
Buying Colt?
Buying a Colt pistol.
Only going to go up in value.
It's going to go. It's going to at least hold value, and
Yeah.
there's a distinct chance that it'll be worth quite a bit more in the future. So, but when people hear that and they think, you know, don't panic. Don't panic. That's
I'm
not the
definitely
shot.
not panicking.
They think, what? This can't. Colt is going to go under or whatever. Colt has been sold several times before.
Big time.
Yeah.
But is this the first time it's been sold to a company that's not an American company? Is this the InBev equivalent that happened to Anheuser-Busch? Was that what we're talking about here?
You know, here's the thing. CZ, while it is not an American company, it has what I would describe as American type values in terms of the Second Amendment. Most of their business is here in the United States. So although I'd like to see an American company, CZ is not the worst candidate to buy Colt, in my opinion.
Well, I don't know if the deal's finalized yet, but maybe Ruger can swoop in.
Ruger's
like an eagle, like
Ruger's probably
pick it up.
already running a little low on fundies.
Oh, what happened at
buying
Rugs?
those good old Marlins.
Yeah, they bought up Marlin.
Yeah.
So they're probably busy thinking, how are we going to make these lever guns?
I imagine one day Ruger will be like the PepsiCo of guns, you know?
I don't know. They've been very conservative up to this point. I mean, they've just been kind of true to their identity. That's what made the purchase of Marlin, in my opinion, so like it's sensational. You know, you've had this classic, and then you had some doubts about the overall quality and future of the Marlin name and design, and then Ruger steps in. It's like a movie. It's like Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. Like what part in that movie?
The good part where all
that
the
part.
good stuff happens.
That's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Yeah. After that, I usually turn it off.
Yeah. You know, that's all you need to see is the good part.
Right. The rising action.
Yep. And then the following.
The hero wins.
Yep. That's what you need.
Yep. It's a good story, man.
Yep.
So how does it compare to Oh Brother?
Doesn't
right
matter.
there?
Just accept
it. Doesn't matter.
Did Oh Brother ever tell them where he was?
I don't think so. I
have no idea.
Because obviously, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
Yeah. Was it a
But
question?
did he ever answer?
Yeah.
It was a question?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was a question mark in the
After
title.
the title? Yeah.
But did he answer?
I have no idea
Was
what
he
the
like,
title means to the actual.
He's like, "Oh brother, where art thou?"
He's like, I am here, brother.
Yeah, it's just a solid 2 hours of some guy going,
Marco
oh,
Polo,
brother,
but back in
where
the
are
day."
thou?
Thou's over here, broski.
The whole time.
It's just Shakespearean Marco Polo or something.
This is.
Where'd we go with
What's
this?
wrong,
Anyway,
man?
we do have a Colt back here. If you look right here.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right there. That's Colt. Right there.
Like Colt 45. What do you think
That's
you're going
Colt.
to do with?
Yeah,
What do you
let's
think
go
you're going to
with
do
a
with the Colt
Yehuda-
45?
Huh?
it's got an EOTech on it.
Uh-huh. That's the EOTech 512.
That's 511 better than the original.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And then if you look a
The
little bit
EOTech one
up
was a
even
joke.
higher,
Just kidding.
What about? Weren't you guys going to do some painting or
there's
something?
a CZ there. So that CZ, those people.
We were gonna do
buying-
some painting because I don't know if it's showing up in the camera.
No, there's a spot down there.
Logan,
that,
Huh?
look at this spot
Where?
right over here.
where he's pointing.
Yeah.
Don't. We were
Yep.
going to paint there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a little lower than that, Eli.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like down in there or something.
right about here.
Yeah.
We were gonna paint.
There's a
this.
spot where it's missed, and we need
Yeah,
to
pull
paint
that
it.
up on screen. You might be able to see.
Yeah, you
it
want me to
there.
get a full screen
Yeah.
here?
Yeah, pull that up.
Yeah. It was somewhere right down there, Logan. I think behind you, maybe, or
Yeah.
Yeah, I
We
think it
need
was
to
on the
paint
wall.
right there.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. The
No.
camera is so out of focus.
Yeah, right. There. You know, you get the point.
Yeah, I think it's beleaguered at this point. We hit that home run and then chased it down, and before it hit the ground, hit another home run.
That's right.
Yeah,
I
what's up,
started
Bill?
getting into our goal at some point. I don't remember where in the show that was.
The first segment, I think, it was so many segments ago.
I was going to tell you about the struggle we've been having with
Mm-hmm.
that. We want to get as many guns, so we've taken an aggressive approach to attracting collections.
What would you say is an aggressive approach? Are you like sneaking up on people? You're like,
Right. Exactly. We, for example,
Yes.
we went Christmas caroling.
Yes.
And we knocked on people's doors.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And then we were like, give us your guns and some more guns, and made it all about consignment.
Mm-hmm.
And that's very aggressive.
Yes, and from what I understand, you did it not at Christmas time, but you still succeeded.
That was
Yeah.
kind of a lot of the reason people had problems with
Like
it.
Christmas in July.
People are less receptive to caroling in February than they are.
And
That's crazy,
I don't
man.
know why we caroled shirtless. I don't know, but
Anyway,
I thought it would help.
we
the
got some
sales.
guns in.
It's your tattoo across your chest, man.
Yeah,
and people aren't cool with that.
Yeah.
What about the tramp stamp I got?
21 guns, man.
Yeah, 2021
We should do a 2021 gun salute to getting 2021 guns.
So 2021 goals in guns, used or consignment guns in the building at the same time this calendar year is the goal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, you in the red shirt, we want to sell your guns.
We want to sell your guns. We're the best possible person or entity to sell your guns because we make it easy.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, we cover everything. It's all the fees are included. So if we sell it on Gunbroker, we're going to pay Gunbroker a fee for that, but you don't pay anything. It comes out of the consignment fee, which is 18%. That's all inclusive. You don't pay anything for the shipping, the packaging, the photographing, any of that. It's all in there.
The whole process is so smooth. We should call it the slip and slide of consignments.
Yeah. You bring your gun in. And see, and that's the problem. I keep trying to get to the problem. You bring it in and it sells. And then you get a check, which doesn't allow them to build up to 2021.
Yep.
So it's going to take a big collection to make this happen.
Yep. We're going to need everybody's guns
We're going to
so
need
we can sell them all.
Yep.
But we're your friends in the gun business, so you
make
can
it
trust
happen.
us. You
It's
can
gonna
trust us.
happen. You know what? I'm not feeling the tour anymore. Let's save it.
The tour?
But I'm tired
tour?
of looking at that.
Yep. Me too.
Let's make a commitment
Okay.
that we're not going to have that for the next show.
Let's just take it down.
Let's take it down.
Right now.
Take it down.
That's a commitment. Right, meow.
I don't even know how we have this
It's just push pins.
Yeah, you're just gonna want to
Just pop it out. Just watch your
definitely
eyes.
Don't mistake push pins and thumbtacks, because someone will put you in your place.
Yeah, you'll learn the hard way. You learn that the streets.
I learned on the streets.
Oh man, keep popping, bro. Oh, look at that daylight coming in.
Oh boy,
daylight coming. Me wanna go home.
Background is crapping.
Man, I'll tell you what. I like that view. You can't see it on the show, or if you're listening on the radio, we're pulling down Logan's bedroom attire.
Yeah.
And blankets. And behind him is a window with bars on it. And through it, you can see cars.
That looks like I'm in jail.
And outside. So now, basically, Logan is on a witness protection program.
Oh,
hey, it's adjusting.
Look at that.
What is going to happen?
Trying really
It's
hard.
freaking out.
I love it.
I'm pulsing. I'm pulsing.
I love it too. It affected everybody.
I want you to take. Look at Trevor.
That's hilarious.
When your face blacks out, I want you to talk like this, like your voice is described.
I tried to do this with Trevor, and
He would order us to take the drugs out and put them in the trunk of a car. And then disperse them in the school.
What?
Did he say disperse them out of school?
Yeah.
Bro, this is a family-friendly show.
Yeah.
But this is the show for
that's what
drive.
happens with the witness protection.
That's
program.
business, okay?
I
You got to
can't-
start them young, get them addicted.
Right.
And then they're
That's
gonna
just
be
good business,
lifelong
man. That's
clients.
just good business.
That's true. Works
Yeah.
in the gun
It
industry.
worked for candy cigarettes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know that it works for Tropicana orange juice?
How so?
Tropicana's concerted marketing effort starts at age 4.
Really?
And they have figured out that by age 12,
Yeah.
people have their mind made up about what orange juice they're going to drink for the rest of their life. And the lifetime value of an orange juice customer is like $21,000.
Wow.
So a person, if they become loyal to the Tropicana brand, will drink $21,000 worth of orange juice in their lifetime.
Wow.
On average. So they spend their time converting those people, because once they do, that's the business.
When you're a Tropicana man, you ain't going
I mean,
elsewhere.
I've tried-
Ocean Spray is out.
I've tried every orange juice known to man pretty much, and I can tell you Tropicana, it's not where it's
Oh, man.
It's because you made your mind up at 12.
at. No, actually, I made mine up recently when I had...
Uh-oh. Too acidic?
Oh. Here's people tune in to find out your opinions on pulp. Go
Tell
ahead.
them the story, bro.
Okay.
Tell us about your pulp level.
So I've tried Tropicana, and it's decent orange juice, but then you move on to Simply Orange, it's better orange juice all the way around. And then you get a Sam's Club membership and have their fresh squeezed orange juice.
Yeah.
That's what changed you?
By far the best orange juice I've ever had.
Yeah.
Is
So you're
there
getting
like
a little bit of pulp in that.
Yeah.
But it's fresh. They do it right in front of you.
Like Sam's is squeezing out oranges right in front
they
of
have
you?
a machine. They put the oranges in. It squeezes them out into a bottle. They bottle it up right there.
Wow, that's actually pretty impressive.
But it's like $8 for like 50 ounces.
Yeah, I'm out.
So
I don't like orange juice that
pretty
much.
expensive,
Mm.
but it is amazing.
So let's talk about pulp.
Yeah.
Sure.
Is it fiction?
Let's do a whole segment on pulp.
Nonfiction.
Let's go to a fake commercial break. Come back and do a 9-minute segment.
I saw something like a
orange juice.
I like that the camera hasn't stopped.
I know, it's terrible.
It won't stop. I saw something a week ago that said, "Aren't you glad that milk doesn't have pulp in it?"
Milk pulp.
Leave it out for a little while. It'll have some pulp.
I can't stop thinking about it.
So
that's just cottage cheese.
There's
man.
people that got a real problem with pulp, which I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think
Because how are you going to be into the juice and not the pulp?
I mean, why not just eat the oranges? Why even drink the juice? Why not just pop slices?
I do like to pop a slice.
I do too, man. I'm master. Well, I've walked away, I've backed away from the oranges. Guys.
I actually think
Eat
that
too
would
many.
make a good rap name for me.
What's that?
Pop a slice.
I'm dropping mad beat right now.
Yeah. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Can't come back from that.
Yeah, you don't want to set it up and then go straight into it.
Yeah, I was gonna write a rap about I'm stealing and peeling.
Mhm.
It was all orange related.
Right. Well, you know what I prefer is the explanation of what the rap would have been.
Yeah.
That's way more entertaining. Like, I would have rapped about this.
I would have.
Oh, imagine Eminem doing that. He doesn't write an album. He just records himself.
It might be less compelling.
It might be.
Okay, so here's what I was thinking. I would be nervous.
Mm-hmm.
And I would throw up some of the dinner that my mom prepared for me on my shirt. Yeah, it's better as an actual song.
It is, but I also like the nerdy retelling of it too. You know, he's like, yeah, so here's the deal. Like, I'm going to go on stage and I'm going to be really nervous.
And
my palms are going to be sweaty.
So sweaty.
The inside part of my hands will probably get moist, and then I'll vomit when I'm ready. And then right before that, I had some of the food that my mom made with ragu.
I think it might have been Prego or not Prego. What is that called? What's the other one?
They're terrible, by the way. Have you ever had them?
Yeah, they're like the always save of pasta sauces.
They really are.
No, because literally the great value is spaghetti sauce with vegetables. 100 times better than Prego.
It's crazy to live in a world where off-brand stuff has gotten better than name brand stuff. And I'm with you, dude.
Yeah, I would rather eat that.
Great value. It's pretty
really
good for its value.
Really is a great value.
It's a great value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos to you, Walmart.
Yeah.
So
the Gun Shop Show, brought to you by Walmart.
Not brought to you by Walmart, unless you wanna.
Unless you want to do it.
Come on, Walmart.
Walmart don't have the balls to sponsor the Gun Shop Show.
You hear that, Walmart?
Yeah. You drop your gun section, sponsor a gun show. Yeah, people are still pretty upset about that whole ordeal, by the way.
Yeah.
The gun thing. Them not selling guns.
Hey, they can do whatever they want.
I know, man. It's a free world. I mean, that's what you want, right? You want to have freedom to do what you want.
Mm-hmm. And face the repercussions, whatever they may be.
I like being able to say that I could sell guns if I want to. I will not because I work at Eli's gun shop. That just wouldn't be cool if I went out and started my own gun store.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What would you call it, though?
I would probably call it, I don't know, Liberty Tree Firearms. I don't know. It sounds right.
Original.
Just spitballing.
Yeah, just spitballing. And I don't know. I thought about doing a show or something.
Honestly, that's not the worst thing I've ever heard. Dealing with a bunch of FFLs for transfers and stuff. Some pretty terrible names.
Yeah.
Pretty terrible names.
My favorite's like Golden Guns or Guns and Pawn.
There's always like lots of guns. It has a Z instead of an S. Really edgy.
I like it when it's like Black Death Tactical.
Like Murder Face Firearms. Big old broken up skull.
Tactical.
Yeah, and you walk in and it's like classical music. Like it's not like that.
There was one the other day that was Lieutenant Dan's Firearms.
Oh,
was
nice.
it really?
Yeah.
That name doesn't have no legs.
Well played. That sounds like a good joke for Pew Pew Jew's joke book, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know how controversial his joke book is.
I was gonna tell a joke about Lieutenant Dan, but it ain't got no legs.
Lieutenant Dan.
He ain't got no legs. You know the best part of that movie really is when he sees Lieutenant Dan and just jumps off the boat and
starts swimming,
and the boat keeps going, crashes. It's just whole, because they keep doing the chapters.
Yeah,
that's how that one ends. He just gets excited, jumps off the boat, and that whole part of his life is over.
That's a good flick, bro.
Yeah.
So what do we?
Brother, where art thou? Right?
Yeah. Well, we need to tell Forrest Gump through the lens of, "Oh, brother, where art thou?"
Guess what I just got?
A text.
from our buddy Paul Glasgow.
You friends now?
We're friends now.
Nice, man. I like how you said his name with the right letters, not like me who makes mistakes a lot.
I feel like somebody had the last name Blasco recently.
Probably.
And that's how that happened.
Probably.
Blasco.
It sounds believable. If you'd have told me his name was Paul Blasco, I wouldn't have argued with you. There's Jesus Blasco. Top 3 search results for Blasco.
I feel like that's a cop name.
Jesus Blasco?
No, Blasco is something cop related.
Yeah.
Blasco.
Officer Blasco on the scene.
He used to be one. You would know.
It's Blastco.
It sounds like a really bad TV show.
Which, by the way,
like the name of a gun shop.
I was going to say Blastco. And by the way, trademark. You can't have that one, world. We're starting our own Blastco.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about Blasco?
What about it?
Like Blast.
What?
Instead of Blast?
That's one pop collar cool, bro.
So basically, the Shover Drive starts out with a list of things that we feel like we need to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like, how will we know when it ends? When I'm disgusted with myself.
Right. When you feel like you've made a complete fool of yourself.
When
it is usually after I see something weird.
Believe it or not, I have no threshold for that.
Yeah, it's true. I didn't realize that. Sometimes I'm like, all right, I'm done with this.
Oh, shoot.
I'm like,
shoot,
Blasco. And he's like, yeah, that's enough of that.
Shoot, bed.
Let's get back to work.
But he's okay with this little joke.
Yeah, he'll get you with that for a
What?
solid 6 minutes.
He's like, that's gold. But Blasco, man,
I'm shutting it down.
That was a painting reference.
Here on the Gun Shop Show.